All right, welcome back to the new video. Now, before I go with the provisioning of the CSR DC, I want to go ahead with the templates first. So I'm going to provision the CSR using the templates. So this that is also another way, and it's the best way to provision that one CSR. So now templates, what are templates? So it's nothing but the features. So if you remember that while configuring, I said that VPN 0. Then I define the interface ETH1 or maybe GE0/0. Then I said that the tunnel interface that should be encapsulated via IPsec. And I said that allowed services will be SSH will be allowed, net config will be allowed, and all the remaining services will be allowed. So these are nothing but the features. So when we come to the templates, VPN 0 is a feature template. It's just a feature. And again, with the interface, again, it is a feature template. Now coming with the tunnel one, everything will be defined within the interface template. These all things will be defined in the interface. And if you remember that we have defined the VPN 512, this is also another feature template because VPNs, these are also a feature. Another thing is that the system one, if you remember where we define the host name, branch, site ID, system IP, everything, this is also another feature template. So basically what I did via CLI, now I am going to do the same thing using the templates. The only difference is that each individual component over here will be referred to as a feature template. And at last, when I combine all these, that means defining all the features in one template, that is known as a device template. So within the device template, I can define the template for the VPN 0. I can define the within the VPN template, then again I can define the interface templates. If I have the OSPF, I can define the OSPF, BGP, whatever it might be. Next, another thing is that I do have the management template, VPN 512. Within that one, I do have the interface. Then again, I do have the system template. And now after that, I do have the AAA one and all those templates. But for the minimum, I do require these many templates. So that is the VPN 0, VPN 512, interface ETH0, GE0/0, GE0/1, and what else we require? The system one. Now, if you remember that VPN 0, we have defined the default gateway. And again, if you want to define the default gateway, we define under the VPN 0. So in this video, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the templates for vSmart and for the vBond. So let's go ahead and define it for the vSmart first. So I'll go back to my vManage. I will go back to the configuration and go to the templates. And you see that device template and feature templates. Click on feature templates and click on add template. And select this one as a vSmart. Select the vSmart and it will show you all the compatible feature templates. So first I do require the system one. So I will select the system one. So vManage is a little bit slow. So I will give the name as vSmart system. So it will be easy to understand. Now again, device specific, enter the name as vSmart site ID. So it will be easy to understand. You are entering the site ID for vSmart. And again, vSmart system IP. And again, vSmart host name. And location, I will give it as a global because I have only one vSmart. So otherwise, I will define the location in the time zone itself. So I will make it as a default. And in the time zone, I will select my time zone. And that's it. That's all the things we need to define, and click on save. So when you say global, that means every time when you reuse this template, it will by default, it will configure this time zone. So that's the reason we select the site ID, system IP, most of the thing as a device specific, so that if we are applying the same template for different device, the different device will have the different configuration. So click on save. So VPN system template has been done. The next thing is that I need to configure for the VPN 0 template. So I will click on add template and I will select the vSmart once more. And this time I will select the VPN template. And I will give the name as a vSmart. This will be VPN 512 first because we don't have much configuration in that one. Select the 512 and I want to give a name as a management. And that's it, no other things. So now instead of again searching that one, what I can do is that I can just copy that 512 and I will just rename it to VPN 0. Click on copy. So I will just go ahead and edit now. So here I'm going to select the VPN 0. This will be the transport VPN. I do not have any DNS for now, but I do have the default gateways, that is new IP address, that will be 0.0.0/0, add next hop. And again, I have only one next hop and I can use it as a global because I have only one vSmart. So that will be 172.16.1.254. Click on add and click on add. Make sure that you see this uh, section over here and click on update. So now my VPN 512 and VPN 0 is ready. Next thing is that I need two interfaces, that is ETH0 and ETH1. So click on add template, go back to vSmart, and this time I will select the VPN interface Ethernet template. And this one will be the vSmart ETH0, which will be used for the management. And by keep it as a global, and every time it should be no shut. And this should be ETH0. ETH0. And the IP address should be device specific. Since I am using only one vSmart, I will go with the global. That should be 150.1.7.52/24. So that's the only IP address on ETH0. That's it, no other configuration. We are not making this interface as tunnel because that's the management. So now again, what I have to do is that I will just copy that 512 and I will do the changes for the ETH1. One and one copy. So now ETH1, go ahead and edit. So this will be used for the transport. So that's why I have to be careful here. So I will change it to ETH1 and I will change the IP address to 172.16.1.2/24. I do not have IPv6. I need to do it tunnel. Yes, tunnel on. I'm not selecting color because I have only one interface. Allow services all. I need the SSH and I need the net config. So this is the only configuration. Click on update. So now that this means that the features have been ready now. So I will go back to the device, click on create template from feature templates because those are the features I have created, and select vSmart. So device model will be vSmart and I will say that vSmart device template. So you have to come up with the naming convention, otherwise it will be very hard to understand. Sometimes you will get confused. System, we already created one vSmart one. VPN 0, we already created one, and I do have one interface that is ETH1. 512, I created the 512, and I do have one interface that is ETH0. That's it. Click on create. So now once that is been done, you see that no devices has been attached. So edit and attach device. It will show you up with the different, if you have many, it will show up all of them. I do have only one. So select that one, click on attach. And you see that it is showing me the status as cross. That means I need to provide some information. Click on edit device template. And you see that most of the things I have given by globally. So that's why it is asking me less details. Otherwise, it would have asked me for the IP address for the ETH0, ETH1 if I have provided this device specific. We will see that options in the VBond now. So currently system IP will be 200.0.0.2, site ID will be number 200, and the host name will be vSmart. So these are the options. I did not have any option to give it as a global. So that's the reason I have to provide those details. Click on update, click on next. And if you click over here, it will show you what are the configurations it is going to send. So basically it will generate a CLI. We have done it via GUI, so it will just generate the CLI. It's taking time. Right. So this is the CLI which it is going to send. We already configured the same thing with the CLI, but the only thing is that we need to make this vSmart as a vManageable. So that's why we are sending the template with the same details. Click on configure device. So click on refresh and you should see that schedule. And over here, you should see that in the notification one, that means it is pushing now. So if you click on refresh, it is in progress now. So it does take 2 minutes time sometime to push the template. So now let's discuss about the vBond now. So vBond and the vEdges, both of them are same. There is no change. So any template which I create for vBond can be used for the vEdge also. So let's go ahead and do that one now. Still in progress. So I will go back to configuration and I will go back to templates. And this time I will go back to feature templates. And this time I am going to select for the vEdge cloud. So click on add template. So you see that still it is showing one, that means it is still pushing that configuration. So don't worry about it. So it should be vEdge cloud. Select the vEdge cloud. Again, we will start up with the system one. So I will say that vEdge system and copy paste. Now site ID, system IP, sys IP, and the time zone. Again, I said that devices can be on a different areas, different cities, or maybe in the different countries. So this is where I will say that device specific. So I will say that VH time zone. So for each and every device, I can select the specific time zones. So now host name, VH host name. That's it. So keep this one as a default for now and nothing we have to do. That's all. Click on save. So the same template, I can use it for all my branch devices as well as for the vBond. Next template will be the VPN. Before we go to the VPN, let's go with the AAA one. So what I want is that whenever someone is trying to log in into any of these devices, I want to go with the local database. So within the local database, there will be an admin and password will be the admin. This is the user by default, which will be selected. So what I want to do is that while sending the pushing the templates to the branch devices or any device, I want this AAA template to be pushed so that for now the password is Cisco 0123. So once I select the configure this AAA and push the template, the password will be no longer usable. So it will be admin and admin as a password. So if you want to define any users, you can define many users over there in the local database. So we will see how. So I will give a name as VH AAA, copy, paste. And now you see that authentication order, by default, it is selecting as a local database, then it is selecting as a radius, then it is selecting as a TCAS. So if you currently, I do not have the radius one, I do not have the TCAS one. So by default, I will select the global as local. Now, authentication fallback, if you want to turn it on, turn it on. But since I am having only local, I do not have multiple databases, so nothing to worry. So now by default, the admin user has been created within a local database. So this is the radius set database. This is the TCAS one. So in the local, you see that I do have only one user. I can go ahead and create a new user over here, and it will be global for Moise, and the password will be admin. And the user group, I don't have any user group. So first I need to create the user group, or I can just select the net admin, basic or operator, whatever. So I will select network admin and add. So that means if I select the local database over here, that means these two users are able to log in into any of the devices once I set the templates. So once these all the branches are synced with the vManage, then only those two users are able to log in. Otherwise, no one else is able to log in. So I will go back here. That's the only thing I have to do and click on save. So my AAA is also set. So let's go ahead with the VPN. So click on VH and select VPN. So I will say that VH VPN 512. First, I will create the 512. That will be very easy. So I will change the name to 512 and I will give a name as management. And I have nothing, no default route, no DNS, nothing. Click on save. Next, I don't need to click on add template. I can just copy that VH VPN 512. Let's copy that one, change it to VPN 0 and 0, copy. So once that has been copied, I will go ahead and click on edit. So I will change this one to VPN 0 and this one will be the transport. Next, DNS. Yes, in the later videos, we are going to connect to the internet. So defining the DNS would be a better option. So I will go ahead and define globally, or I can define the specific. That means each and every device may have a different DNS number. In that case, I will go with the specific option. But currently it's a lab, so I will go ahead with the global option. That will be 192.168.122.1. I do not have any secondary for now, but I will go ahead and give it as 8.8.8 just in case. The other thing is that IPv4 route. Click on new. This one should be 0.0.0/0. But the issue is that with the vBond, I have only one default gateway, but with the different branches, I do have the two default gateways. So for branch 4, I do have 2, branch 2, 1, and 2 default gateways. So in this case also, I can do the same thing over in vBond. When I pushing the templates, I can use the default gateway twice. It shouldn't have any configuration, that should be fine. But for the next step, what I'm going to do is that because I'm going to reuse this template for the branch one, so I will make this one as a specific one. So I will say that VH next hop address 1, add one more, and that should be VH next hop address 2, and click on save and click on add. So this is the only thing you have to be careful here. Now click on update. Now VPN 512, VPN 0 is been ready. Now let's create the interfaces now. I will select the VEdge cloud and I will select the VPN interface Ethernet. VH, this one will be ETH0 for the management. And I will say this one will be global and no shut, and that should be ETH0. Description, I'm not worried about it. IPv4, yes. VH ETH0 IP address. Pretty important, otherwise it will become you will be confused what interface it is. And for the tunneling, I am not going to do any tunneling for my management, no netting, nothing. So click on save. Now we'll do the same thing. I will just copy that ETH0, that is VH ETH0. Copy that one. The other one will be GE0-0. So I'm giving 0-0 because it will not accept the slash one. And now I will edit the GE0/0 interface. Right, I will just change it to remove everything and change it to GE0/0. And the IP address, I will change it to 0-0. And this one is the transport one. So definitely I'm going to do the tunneling. Click on global on. And now color. So if I come back to my topology for the vBond, I do not have no color for this one. But since I'm going to reuse the template for all the branches and all the branches have color over here, so that's the reason I would define the color as a device specific. And here VH GE0/0 color. So if you just say VH color, it doesn't make any sense because you don't know for which interface you're defining the color. And I do not require this color for the vBond, but still I will assign any color to the vBond. That should be fine. Now coming to the all global on, and I require the net config as well as the SSH and update. Now, as per the requirement, I do have only one interface, so which I have already configured now. So let's go back to the device now, and I will create a template from the feature template. I will select the VH cloud and the device role as SD-WAN Edge, and it should be vBond device template. Now I will select the system as VEdge. AAA, I have created the AAA. Select the AAA. And VPN 0, yes. And I do have one interface that is GE0/0. And VPN 512, yes, I do have one interface that is ETH0. Click on create. And the same feature templates, I can use it for the branch devices later on. So I will go ahead and attach the device now. And I should see the vBond. Select that one, click on attach.
So select edit, and now you see that ETH0 IP address that should be 150.1.7.53/24. Next hop IP address, I do have only one default gateway, that is 172.16.1.254. I do not have the second one, but I can provide the same thing here. And here you see that the color for GE0/0, I will use it as private one, and IP address will be 172.16.1.3/24. System IP will be 100 dot, sorry, it will be 200.0.0.3. Site ID will be 200, and the host name will be vbound, and the time zone, I am selecting the time zone as Australia, Hobart. That's it. So click on update, click on next, click on configure device, and it should now push the template to the vbound. So again, it will take 2 minutes of time. So I will come back once it is been pushed. So it just took 2 minutes to push the configuration. Now if I go back to my devices, now if I go back to my controllers over here, and now you see that instead of CLI mode, I do have vmanage over here. So that means my vsmart and vbound are now managed by the vmanage. Since I have only one vmanage, so that's the reason I did not push any template to that vmanage. And now, since we know that how to create the templates and push the templates, now it's time to provision the CSR router. See you in the next video.